Hi, Gary Williams again here, reaching out to friends and colleagues all over the world to see how everybody is coping with this coronavirus lockdown situation. And the fella waiting, smiling, waiting there patiently is my pal, Pete Matthews. Hello, Peter Matthews. How are you doing?
Hello, Gary. How are you, mate?
I'm really well, thank you. So the first thing is, where in the world are you? Because I know that some of we met on a cruise ship, some of our colleagues on ships are still stuck on ships in the middle of God knows what ocean.
I know. I spoke Jeff Stevenson, our very good friend Jeff. He'll be coming back from a P&O ship, and he arrives back on Sunday, Easter Sunday. I spoke to Jane, his wife, last night. So yeah, no, I am at home.
Can you imagine?
I've been home since the 6th of March, and we kind of, as from the 6th of March, sort of went straight away into isolation. Up here, we're very blessed. We live in the countryside. Right. We're just outside Bournemouth, in a little lane where the community spirit is actually, during this little lockdown, has become just phenomenal. You know, we have a little WhatsApp group for the local, for the street, for the lane, and everyone. And Claire and I went out and my wife and I went out and put notes for everyone's door, literally as soon as I got back, saying this is about to happen. Because I do you know what? Because we're so well travelled, we watch CNN and international news all the time, because things that happen in China actually do interest us. You know, it's kind of like we might be there next. You know, so yeah. When I saw what was happening in China and what was happening, bless them, on Princess cruises, on the Diamond Princess, I figured that the cruising was going to take a little break. So we came home. I got home on the 6th. We spoke to all our neighbours and let them know that we were here. We went to the garden centre and bought loads of wood and supplies.
You were
because I knew. Well, we did. Do you know what? Actually, Gary, you know, I feel a little smug about it, because, you know, I've literally for the last month, we haven't stopped here in this house. You know, I've weeded the front garden to within an inch of its life. I've redone the driveway with some stones, and I've built I built us 2 raised planters. So we have these fabulous vegetable planters in the garden now. We're Tom and Barbara. We're like the good life.
So when people were sort of bulk buying toilet paper, you were stocking up on plant pots and peat.
Yeah, just wait there 2 seconds. Look, every windowsill in the house. This is broccoli.
Oh, amazing! So I was talking to my mum yesterday, and she said, you know, the only thing that she's got a problem with, she's got loads of like pasta and stuff in. Just chuck that on the floor. She's got loads of it, but what she's struggling with is fresh stuff. And I said, you should start growing your own. She's thinking about it, and you're already doing it.
Well, we've wanted to do it for a long time, and I said, as soon as I got home after I left the Disney Magic on the 5th of March, came home. I mean, today I was meant to be flying home from the inaugural sailing of the Celebrity Apex. You know, I was down to do that. It's outrageous how unsettling it's all been for so many.
Isn't it funny? I was looking in my diary yesterday, and I should have been. Just a few days ago, I should have been on a photo shoot in, like a thing popped up on my phone to say, reminder for your train ticket. You know, you can now download your train ticket. This was coming back from a photo shoot in Bristol. And I was like, my God, like everything is just completely changed. Like the normal life just seems so far away.
I'm sure you probably got a few phone calls too when obviously the cruise ships were in the press, the cruise ships were the first thing to really be obvious that they were going to stop. And I was getting lots of phone calls from people going, oh, you know, we're worried about you. Are you going to be okay? No cruising work and stuff. I said, I appreciate the sentiment, I said, but this is going to affect everybody. In a few weeks' time, if you work in a restaurant, in a hotel, in a bar, in a cinema, I said, it's all going to stop. And they were like, really? I went, I think so, because it has in China, and we're behind them, you know. I said, and then, of course, Italy had their lockdown. I mean, we have friends, you know, Lizzie and Daniel, who have lots of family, and they're Italian, they have family in Italy. There's a little place we go to, Levano Romano, which we absolutely adore. It's just outside Rome. and you just think this little community, and then you just really feel for them. You know, I mean, we're absolutely blessed to be living in the countryside. We lived in London before we were in Fulham. And I said to Claire, you know, how fortunate we are to not be in Fulham right now. I said, because, you know, you can't walk out the front door. I mean, there was a block of flats opposite us in Fulham. You know, that's the beauty of London. You can be in a $1 million house here and a block of flats there. It's London. I said, and imagine, you know, all those kids, all those teens that would be out on their push bikes and stuff, being told to stay in. I mean, I have a teenager, I have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old. But they're great. You know, they've had their one exercise a day. They ride down the lane on the bikes and go off down to the river and come back. And then we've got the trampoline in the garden. We're very fortunate. We have quite a large garden. You know, sun's shining. They're only ever on Netflix and Fortnite, but I keep trying to get them outside. No,
they don't know any different. For them, it's normal life.
Yeah, well, they've done the homeschooler thing. My daughter is at a fabulous school, and they've been doing a thing called remote schooling. But all last week before, 2 weeks ago, before they broke up for the Easter break, that, you know, Annie was upstairs doing classrooms at 9, 10, 11. You know, break for lunch, afternoon. I mean, she's brilliant. She's gotten straight onto it. They've been doing Zoom classes, much like this interview, you know.
So
Milo,
how are you dividing up the sort of parent, I mean, the sort of homeschooling things? Is she taking care of all of that?
Do you know what? The kids have been brilliant. They've just done it themselves. We just said, right, Monday to Friday. They've both broken up now.
Is that the way it works?
Well, do you know what? We're blessed that our kids are 12 and 14. If we'd had a 5 and a 7-year-old, it would have been a very different experience.
Exactly.
You know, there's only so many times you can sing Peppa Pig songs or the Shark song or whatever. You know? So no, the kids have been brilliant. Milo's been hysterical because he's run downstairs at 10 a.m. going, I've done all my lessons. I went, what do you mean you've done all the lessons? He went, so I had English, I had maths, I had German, I've done them all. He said, I did them all. I went, how have you done them all? He said, just did. So at 10 a.m., he's done, you know, effectively from 6 hours of schooling in the first hour because he just gets on it, you know.
What I'm most worried about is your education. I mean, well, that was a long time ago. But what are you using the time to, you know, I mean, you've obviously got to keep in shape as far as your juggling is concerned. I mean, if anybody who's watching this does not know anything about you, just tell us very quickly, sort of sum up your act for us, how you make a living.
You're right, it's very physical. It is very physical. I'm a juggler and a unicyclist, comedian. I think Disney like to call it an action comedy, you know. I ride a 7-foot unicycle in the show. I do various flips and whatnot. I mean, to be honest, I've been keeping sane. Jamie Allen, a good friend of ours, Jamie Allen, the Eye Magician, has been doing this broadcast at 7 p.m. on a Friday night. And I've done a little segment in each of his shows so far. Right. So I recreated, I did a Diablo high throw where I actually broke the world record. I got a new world record during this lockdown.
No.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I held the original world record. They do it in time from the moment the Diablo. I mean, you've seen my Diablo high throws, but I do this Diablo. I haven't got one here, but I throw it in the air really high and then catch it again. And before the record was just under 5 seconds. It was from the moment it left the string to when I caught it again. I held the record at 4.97 seconds. I've got a new record which is just a pinch over 5. So I did that during this lockdown period.
That's got to be the most productive thing to come out of lockdown. That's amazing. Is this official? Is this an official world record?
Well, it's recordsetters.com. Guinness are very, very difficult to get into Guinness, to be honest. You know, I think anyone that's got a Guinness World Record will tell you how much, you know, how'd you do this? They said, I paid £10,000 and got it. You know, you've got to pay to have these people come and stuff. So, no, I did it on a thing called recordsetters.com. And I'm not actually sure if their website is up and running at the moment because I tried to log on. But our good friend John Courtney.
And it was on camera.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, exactly. It's on camera. And John Courtney has the know-how to slow down the footage and time it from the moment it leaves the string to the moment it came back. So John Courtney did it. In fact, we all know John Courtney. In fact, we're going to see a lot of John Courtney soon because BGT starts up on Saturday, and I know that he did an audition, so I'm really excited to see
fantastic. Which John Courtney is another entertainer, another colleague of ours. I mean, I know you're so passionate about what you do, about performing and about having an audience, and giving all of that energy on stage. I mean, and you're so busy as well. I mean, you consistently work. How are you coping, seriously, with the fact that you haven't got that outlet now?
Actually, I'm gonna go the other way with this, Gary, and say, because I am one of the busiest acts in the world today, because I'm doing all the, because I'm always away, I kind of feel like the coronavirus, as awful as it is, has given me a fantastic gift. It's given me the gift of time. Kids come in and say, "Dad, do you want to come on the trampoline?" I say, "Yeah." Gary, I had a bath the other day. I had a bath with candles and a glass of wine. Now, I know that sounds like probably, I never stop and take, because normally if I come home for 3 days, it's normally I have a week or 2 weeks worth of jobs to squeeze into 3 days. And I always have this thing about, if it's on the blackboard, it'll get done. And if the list is that long on the blackboard, I'll get up earlier. But whatever the case, I will get those jobs. So I'm always doing. So I've actually just gone, hey, you know what? This is great. And I'm not financially, obviously we're all worried about what's around the corner. But in our game, you put something aside for a rainy day, and right now it's pouring out. So I'm just embracing it. I've truly embraced it. My wife, my awesome, fantastic wife, has been teaching Pilates classes online, doing Zoom classes with her Pilates groups and stuff. So she's teaching. She's a body control Pilates instructor. So she's turned the front room into a little studio with her camera, and it's linked it up to the TV and stuff. I mean, it's great. For the first time in my life, she's supporting us.
It's nice,
because
right?
I'm not earning anything right now.
I mean,
do you know what?
I love what you said about turning it around, because I mean, for so many of us, we do spend so much time away. And I know you in particular, you've got an amazing family, and I know you always miss them when you're away. So it really is, as awful as it sounds, to be finding positive, opportunities in this. But I mean, we have to, otherwise we go mad. That really is an amazing opportunity for someone like you that's always away. It's such a gift for you to be spending all of this time with your family, because I'm sure that many of us are going to get to the end of this period, because it will end. We're going to get busy again, and we're going to be thinking, I wish I'd really made the most of all of that time at home.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I do this thing called the Big Big Variety Show. I saw Alan Stewart also does a Big Big Variety Show. I saw your interview of him the other day. What a lovely man, great person. Yeah. But I also do a Big Big Variety Show.
I think it's always been a charity. I think his is the Big 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 Variety Show.
Oh, okay, all right. Mine's just Big Big. But I've done 4 of those, and I was speaking to Tommy Bond the other day, and I think most definitely when we come out the other side of this, there will be a Big Big Variety Show 5, and it will be for the NHS. And I mean, the NHS, the key workers. It's I was talking to my wife about this. It's amazing, because if someone joins the army and they go to the front line, you don't sort of go, wow, they're on. You don't feel for them because they're on the front line, because they joined the army. That was kind of on the cards. They were going to hold a gun and go out and shoot people, or whatever, or go to war, or be ready for that. I don't think you ever train as a nurse to believe you're going to be truly on the front line. And these guys, they're going into a war zone, with nothing but gloves and a face mask, and they're doing it.
Lucky.
Yeah, if they're lucky. Oh, don't, And I'm a very emotional person, Gary, but Claire and I have watched, we've watched everything. And no, I'm the same. No, genuinely, I just, my heart, we took such pride going out and standing on our doorstep at 8 p.m. and back, doing our car horns and clapping and stuff. My goodness, my hat.
Another one of the things, there it is.
I take my hat off to everyone in the NHS in the front line.
Another one of the things that you can be doing with this time is, I guess, planning like that next variety show. And I mean, it's nice to get our heads. I had a a booking the other day for a concert. I think it's going to be in January. And even though it's a long way away, I mean, it meant the world to me to get this thing in the diary, because we know it's going to end, but just to know that there are bookers out there that are thinking ahead and that life is going to go on. And so it's actually quite nice for you to have something like the Big Big Variety Show to plan and to sort of start getting your head around, right?
Yeah. Between you and I and everybody else watching this, I think I'm more excited about the broccoli right now.
Well, when the broccoli is done, can we? I'm gonna come back to you. I want to see the broccoli on a plate, nicely steamed. Pete, it's always amazing to talk to you. Thank you so much for giving us a few moments of your day. I know you've got a hot bath with candles all around it to get into now. Hey, if people want to see what you do, see you in action, what's the best way? Do you have a website, or what?
They can find me. I'm on all social media, obviously. Twitter, it's Pete the Juggler. And everywhere else, you can put in Pete Matthews, Crazy Juggler on Facebook. And also website is crazyjuggler.com. Instagram is Crazy Juggler, I think. All those things. And, you know, also have a look out on Jamie Allen's I Magician show. And I do make an appearance. And I think you can also download and watch his previous 2 shows.
Amazing.
Gary, I can't wait till I get to share a hug with you again.
Pete, I love you. You have just the most great energy. Always beautiful to talk to you. Thank you so much. I feel better already. And when this is all over, we will have a hug and a beer and make some music and have some fun together.
As the Queen says, we will meet again.
Lots of love. Bye.
Love you, mate. Bye-bye.